What's happening, guys? In this video, we're gonna look at mocking up a part of my theme. And I'm gonna show you just some of my workflows and techniques for, taking my orchestration from just a sketch into more of a finalized form. So one of my main concerns in the mockup stage is to, really make things sound more realistic and better compared to the orchestration stage. So in the orchestration stage, my main goal is to just, get the idea down. Kind of get the rough distribution of instruments for each part and kind of have those things settled by the time I start to look at the details. So as you see here, I've recorded like the chords and things in ensemble patches, for example. Same with melodies. I've layered a few different string patches in these my sketch area just to make things sound like, decent while I'm sketching. But now in the mock-up stage, what I'm doing is that I'm taking these rough kind of sketches and I'm spreading out these voices into individual parts, like the cellos and viola and violin 1, for example, or violin 2. And I'm just making things sound a bit better. And then I try to, work a little bit on the editing part and the modulation things just to make it sound realistic, but I usually do a final run when it comes to the editing at the very end as well, just to tighten things up. But what we're going to do in this video is that I'm going to take this sketch of this theme and more specifically this part of it, and I'm going to show you like my basic workflow for dealing with that. So let's just get started right away and listen to this part right here. Okay, so a pretty theme, but it definitely needs some work on the mockup, because this is literally just a sketch. So what I usually start with is the melody, just because it's, the most central part of the composition. And once I get that down, I feel like everything else, including the bass line, the chords and things, just kind of falls into place a bit easier. So what I can do is that I can, copy this over, but I'm going to do things a bit more thorough right now. So I'm going to start recording these melodies all over again in the strings here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, simplify this theme so I don't have too much going on while I listen to it. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to record the melody, and I just like to, take away all the melodies that's already there just to make it cleaner and easier to hear what I'm doing. So I still have the chords and the horns and whatever, but I take away all the melodies so I can only hear myself. Let's record it. All right, let's listen to that. it stops a little bit abrupt. So I'm gonna, you know, fade out that volume a little bit here at the very end. Just make it die off a little bit more. Let me see if I can do that as well on the other one. Alright, so that's just rough. I'll tweak these things later. But now we'll go over to the other parts. So let's see. We got some woodwinds I know I want to have in here. So I probably will do an oboe, like a solo oboe playing the same melody. And remember what we've been talking about in terms of breathing. So when I record an oboe line like that, I think about where the player has space to breathe. Breathe. And stuff like that. So let's record that. Click would help. Alright, let's just quickly look at the oboe line. And you see I'm like, well, I'm putting in quick little breaks to breathe in here. And making sure that the player has the ability to breathe. And not like, you know, there's no one actually playing this, but you have to kind of mock it up with the mindset of someone doing that. That way you get way more realistic and real sounding lines. Now let's think, maybe I think I might want to double this in the flutes as well. So let me see what that sounds like. So far that sounds nice. Let me see what this sounds an octave up. I don't want it to become too piercing. Yeah, that's too piercing. So we'll keep the flute in that range because these instruments, or all instruments, basically change tone color based on the range they're in. And in really high ranges, both violins and flutes can become really piercing and sharp, and I don't want that in this theme. Alright, so we got some of the core melodic things down. Now, I usually do, you know, the core 80% first, then move over to the next section, and then I finish up the last kind of 20% details and fixes in the end. So, you know, I don't really know if I maybe want a choir in here, but it's not essential. Like the strings and the woodwinds are essential to what I want in the melody here. In the end, when I see the context of things, I usually do the final decision. So now I'm gonna do the bass line and replace that. This might actually work because I think I did a pretty okay job at recording it. So I'm gonna just see if I can copy that over. Just also to show you that you don't have to like re-record everything if you did a good take. So this is the Nucleus double bass. Just need an octave down. that's okay for now. So then I got the bass line, and what I do then, if I haven't already, is just to take away this one. This was literally the same track. Alright, so we've taken out the chords. Oh yeah, I didn't realize I had no chords in here. I see that's muted here, which is a mistake you can quickly do when you have lots going on. Okay, so let's just move over to the chords and get that in. So the main focus I have here then is to split this into, different string tracks. And, we already have, one double bass. We have one violin playing the melody. And then in between here, we have 3 of the ones you see on the screen. So we can have, the cello, the viola, and the second violin. Suddenly we have the whole string section playing this theme. So I had that in mind when I did this, and if you listen to the top one, starts on A. So that's the melody line. So I'll go to then the second violin. I'm not sure if I actually even have the violas in here, which is stupid of me. Let me just fix that real fast.